everybody, it is me, it's DOM, no E. I don't know where I was going with that one.
Boom.
And we got K-Bones Incorporated, That's a good story for another day, actually. Mullins, we're talking about Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Well,
we are.
I think let's just get into the beginning of the movie, no spoilers, and then we'll go into our what we would give it, and then after we give it, let's full on wreck the spoilers. So, Suicide Squad, it's not a good movie in terms of good guys. It's not a bad movie because it's a bad movie. It is the movie in terms of like a make it or break it for DC Universe.
Yeah.
Especially after their last couple.
If this failed, DC might have just shut down the projects.
Yeah. Because it wasn't a superhero movie. It was a villain movie.
Super villain movie.
Yes. And it was a grouped supervillain movie, which we saw the Avengers, which was the first big, bunch of superheroes working together. Now we have a whole bunch of supervillains working together, which is a whole new aspect.
Different.
Yeah.
It was very different. Like it was watching it was like what? It was like what? This is actually happening?
Yeah. Basic premise is you have Miss Waller. No, Miss Waller. Is it Miss Waller?
It's Amanda Waller. Yeah.
Amanda Waller, yeah, who has to assemble it's not Weapon X, Team X, but it's basically the Suicide Squad. They're gonna basically try to get all the villains killed. A part of this team, which is Killer Crocodile, Captain Boomerang, Harley Quinn. Katana. Well, Katana was a late addition, in terms of like she wasn't a villain.
She wasn't a villain.
Yeah.
Killshot.
No.
Yeah,
No. No. Slipknot.
Deadshot.
Slipknot. Deadshot and Slipknot. Yeah. Slipknot was the guy that didn't really matter.
Slipknot was the guy. Yeah, he was just an addition, just because. Oh, we need another villain in this movie. Let's add one.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm forgetting someone big. I think. Diablo.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Diablo, and
I think that might have been it. Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn is probably the big thumbs up for that one, especially because it goes into her backstory with the Joker. We have a good Deadshot backstory with his daughter.
I love the backstories on everybody.
Great Ben Affleck as Batman, by the way. And we got the Flash in there too. I'm trying to think any other thing that's not really spoiling it, but it's just a big addition of the story is, they got the villains together. They're gonna fight this other villain who's bigger than them, but not really, who was, I guess we'll get into that with the spoiler section, because it's kind of real story grinding.
That's a real big spoiler to it.
So, other than that, basically everybody's wanting to get out of prison, and we learned that the villains aren't so villainous after all, but they still are very villainous in a way. Like, it's a very, you want to cheer them, but deep down that they're going to be fighting guys like Batman, Flash, people who typically are the good guys.
Like, down the line, this group of people that you walk out of this movie loving them.
Yeah.
You're not going to love them in these other movies, potentially.
No. Alright, let's just give our review on the movie right now, and our points for everything, and then let's go spoiler crazy and everything. So, Mullins, you were freezing.
Okay, let's get spoiler crazy. By the way, if you haven't watched the movie, turn off the video right now.
Well, for the after our numbers.
Oh, after this. Wait 1 second. And
Alright.
we'll let you know when it's time to probably shut things down. If you have not seen this movie, go out and see it.
Alright, so I'm going to give the movie, I'm going to give it an 8, alright? Compared to what I just watched with The Killing Joke, even though it's an animated movie, I would say everyone's better. Story was better, everything was better, character building was much better. They had to introduce so many new people at one time, I feel like, which was a big risk. But
it's
I think
hard to do it and cram it all into one thing.
Yeah, they had a lot of great actors, and there's one actor I want to talk about who, in the spoiler section, is not going to be joining us, which I'm really ticked off about because he was a phenomenal actor, actually. But what would you give it?
I would give it 8.5, 9. The only thing, like, I wish it would have had is I wish it would have had, which we'll get to what I wish it had more of in the spoiler section.
What was that? You were cutting in and out.
I was gonna say I'll give it probably an 8.5 or a 9. The only thing I think it was missing was, and I'll address what it was missing in the spoiler section.
All right. So it's time for the spoiler section now. Run if you haven't seen the movie. Go see it right now. It's really
go
good.
Get it. Go run and get it right now.
Yeah,
Actually, like go buy a ticket. The showing. Let's see what.
Yeah, it was really good.
Usually there's a showing about 4:30, 5 o'clock. Go on in.
Yeah. So let's just kick it off right here for the spoiler section. I guess we'll go kind of in reverse a little bit, but I thought the one actor that I'm gonna miss that they killed off was Diablo.
Yeah.
That guy was really great actor.
Like, he was great. Like,
yeah.
He played it wonderfully.
Yeah, it's funny because he's like a villain that changed his ways, and he died.
Yeah, like, he was the only one who was hesitant.
Yeah, and
he's like, yeah, I don't want to do this.
And then I can't remember what the main villain is because, like, I know who she is. I know who. What?
Enchantress.
Enchantress. Yeah, she's a very like forgettable villain. Sadly,
yeah,
like.
I don't really pay attention that deeply to the comics. Is she like an actual thing, or is this just?
She's an actual thing, yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of like it's awkward because you have a huge villain such as the Joker in this movie, and a huge villain. Like, you have much bigger villains, in my opinion.
Yeah, like Joker could have been the big villain in this movie.
Yeah, and for a while he kind of was.
He kind of was for the first part of it.
Yeah, especially because when you go into the backstory of Harley Quinn, they were like, man, he is a horrible person.
To break her out, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though, because with Heath Ledger's Joker, this guy right here, he's more psychological, mess you up type of guy, whereas Jared Leto's Joker is a straight up pimp. Like, I'm gonna say that he is like running like nightclubs and everything.
Joker grew up in the ghetto.
Yes, like Jared Leto's Joker, I liked his hair better, in my opinion. Yes. In terms of like,
I think his Joker fit Joker more. Like, his Joker fit the Joker prototype almost more. Like,
it's some additions. I don't know.
Like, I think he was more funny than serious, which is what Joker.
Yeah, he was definitely more funny than Jared Leto or Heath Ledger's Joker. Heath Ledger's Joker was definitely more serious and more of a villain.
Where he would snap, which reminded me of like the animated Joker, who was really funny, and then all of a sudden he'd snap.
Yeah, and another thing with the Jared Leto Joker is, I didn't really like his face, like his his paint job so much on.
Oh, I didn't at all. Like,
yeah.
I didn't like the whole grill thing.
Especially
pissed me off every time I saw it.
Especially when we had the at the end of the movie, when they're fighting Enchantress, and Enchantress is using all their memories of like, what if Deadshot, Will Smith's character. All right, I believe it's Deadshot. Yeah. What if he would have? You said Killshot. That really threw me off.
Yeah, that's what.
Deadshot.
Like, for some reason, I don't know why Killshot was in my head.
Yeah, I thought you were thinking of the guy who was the first one to die, Slipknot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I was mixing those two names up.
So what they did, what Enchantress did was she used Deadshot's memories to say, what if Deadshot would have killed Batman? What if Harley Quinn would have settled down and married the Joker? And then we get this like image of the Joker without his face paint, and it's really weird. He's got a very weird
He didn't have his grill in.
Yeah, it was very weird. There's one where I can't remember the guy. I think it's not Fury.
It was Rick Flag.
Rick Flag. What if he would have sat down and married the girl that is, inside, or she's inside of Enchantress, kinda, or they're.
Of her.
Yeah, it's very, because like they flip flop, where one will be inside of the other one.
Part of this whole story.
Of how she lived at the end. I think it would have been more if she died. I honestly would have. It sounds bad, but I think it would have, especially because Diablo died. That aspect of, we lost one great innocent person and one great villain who kind of wasn't villain at the end.
Yeah.
Because he was so hesitant with
he saved everybody.
Yes.
He saved the whole world, basically.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other people that got like their mind kind of warped a little bit. Of course, there was the thing where Diablo accidentally killed his family.
But yeah, then
So he kind of
that
had
was
nothing.
Diablo, he was the one who called her out on it and said, "This is just you messing with our mind."
I don't think there's any Killer Croc because he wasn't there at the moment because he was in the sewers.
Killer Croc really didn't get much of a backstory.
Captain Boomerang didn't get too much.
There was not much of a backstory to him, but there was a backstory to Boomerang, though.
It was a very heavily based story around Harley Quinn and the Joker. And Deadshot. And I guess Rick Flag Rick
Flag was probably the... Yeah. If I had to pick a fourth person, it'd probably be him. Which actually, I think he's actually listed on the poster. If you look at it, the guy that plays him is actually listed on the poster after Will Smith, Leto, and Margaret Robbie.
Like, I think the villain really took a backseat because no one knew who the villain was, like how big a villain Enchantress was going to be in that whole situation.
Well, that's why they tried to keep it a big secret. Like, no one knew about the whole Enchantress thing, really.
Well,
they tried to keep it a giant... Well, they tried to keep it secret from the people who aren't like us who actually looked into this stuff.
Well, the thing was, like, Enchantress isn't as big of a villain as, like, when they were doing Batman versus Superman, and they were like, what is it, Doomsday?
Yeah, Doomsday.
Yeah. And people were, like, flipping out about that. Whereas I think if they would have said, alright, our villain that the other villains have to kill is something, like, ridiculous, like... I don't know, it wouldn't happen, but like Two-Face or, you know, someone that we can relate
like
to.
Penguin.
Yeah, someone that we can relate to that we've seen through stories, you know, even trying to think of a notable villain outside of Batman, but it's like it's the whole Arkham Asylum deal of like it kind of needed to be that Batman-esque.
That's another thing, another spoiler, I guess, spoiler within a spoiler.
Yeah.
I had seen that that the Batman standalone film is actually gonna be called Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, I'm looking really forward to that, especially because at the end of the credits, if you stay after, DC's doing something right. You stay after the credits for DC.
The funniest part was because I knew, I'm like, there's gonna be something because it's DC. DC's gonna do something here.
Yeah.
And I see people walking out. There was literally people. There was at least a group of maybe 10 people that had left the theater before this thing started playing, and it's the funniest thing because it's a huge scene.
Yes, and what the scene is, Amanda Waller is talking to Ben Affleck, Batman, Bruce Wayne.
And all of a sudden you see it's Batman. It's Bruce Wayne.
And he's like, they're going back and forth talking about the asylum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically that gets a portfolio of the villains, stuff like that, saying that, hey, you don't need your squad anymore. We have our squad. Basically saying, hey, Justice League is coming right around the corner, which is kind of sad because I think Suicide Squad 2 is something big to cash on. Because this, I feel like this, even though the critics like might have downplayed it, I feel like they downplayed it because at some parts it was...
Well, another scene at the end that they headed toward the Suicide Squad 2, with all of a sudden they're all back in prison and whatnot, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, the Joker breaks in and he saves Harley Quinn.
You thought he died.
I don't think he would have died. I don't think they would have been dumb enough to kill him off, especially because the Superman thing.
I was literally like, if they would have killed Joker off, I probably would have gave this a much lower rating because I think there's no reason to do that.
Yeah. Even though I know they wouldn't do that, but let's see. Yeah, I think they definitely need to cash in on Suicide Squad 2 because it just makes sense that you have this foundation for villains getting a lot of love. Then you
Justice League versus Suicide Squad would be incredible.
That would be like really big of saying Amanda Waller saying, all right, you have your Justice League of superheroes. Here's my group of super villains that's going to take down the superheroes and say, hey, we can control our inmates and we can, you know, but it's also the fact of like, it's Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and Flash versus like, you know, at the best, Joker, Killer Croc, Deadshot. But, in terms of acting, Diablo was fantastic. Ben Affleck was fantastic. We didn't get too much
Boomerang
of the
was
Flash.
fantastic. I like
Boomerang was very underrated. Will Smith, without a doubt, was the star.
Boomerang, they're all fighting. Boomerang sits there and cracks a beer, and he's just sipping behind the car, hiding.
I think
That had me geeking.
without a doubt, I think Will Smith was like the star of this movie.
Yeah,
So,
Will Smith just like he went above and beyond on this movie.
yeah, he really wanted to make it work. Jared Leto's performance, I'm still kind of on the edge about it. It was pretty good, but at the same time,
like,
I think they pushed it too hard, in my opinion, a little bit. Like,
for like how little I honestly thought he was gonna be in the movie more. That's what I said. If he was in the movie more, probably would have given it a 10.
thing is, I thought he would have been a part of the Suicide Squad. Like, I'm trying to remember if in the animated movie, if he was. I know he played a big part in the movie too, but I'm actually looked that up right now. Let's see.
I could have sworn I thought he was.
Batman Suicide Squad animated. All right. Assault on Arkham. It's called Assault on Arkham. Let's see. The actual Suicide Squad on there is Deadshot, Harley Quinn, the Riddler. I don't think I saw the Riddler on there. What?
That might be a spoiler.
I don't think the Riddler was there. Joker, Amanda Waller was there. Yeah. Let's see. They had King Shark instead of Killer Crocodile. Black Spider. Yeah, their list of villains is much different. Maybe Joker wasn't a part of the Suicide Squad, but I feel like in terms of
he just had a part in that animated movie.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of this Suicide Squad, maybe he shouldn't have on this first one, but I feel like if they do a sequel,
yeah,
I think
right now he's currently, if we're going storyline wise, like story bit wise, he's with Harley Quinn right now.
Yeah, and it would make great sense for Batman to put them back in jail, and then Suicide Squad 2 rolls around, and then we have Joker and Harley Quinn. Maybe Deadshot is like the leader of the group and he comes back, like he's recruited as like a hitman. They're like, hey, you're out of prison now, but I'll give you, so much money and we'll protect your daughter, or something like that. And then you can have, the villains who are still probably going to be in jail, like Captain Boomerang and Killer Croc.
Yeah.
And then this would be a perfect time to kill off a big one, such as like a Captain Boomerang. Because I feel like in the end, he's going to be one of those that often like will take that death sequence. Sadly enough.
Yeah. Because he's not one that's gonna like they're not gonna cash in big on Boomerang. Although the guy that played Boomerang
was pretty good. He was pretty good. It's.
They're not gonna like he's not gonna be a cash cow for them. Like Joker would be like they need to keep Joker in because he's gonna get them.
Even if Jared Leto's Joker wasn't, good, even if it was literally crap, they would still cash on it more than a successful Captain Boomerang. Whereas I felt like Diablo was very successful in how he was represented, and they killed him off. So I feel like there's some money lost there, but it's the aspect of he couldn't be a villain then. At the same time, he couldn't be a villain. But I think there's also, in my opinion, there's too much of the love thing going on with the girl who is Enchantress was controlling, and what's her name?
It's June Moon.
June Moon, and then the guy Rick Flag. There's definitely a little bit
too much of that. Like it was like what? Like it kind of like would branch off, and you would almost be like you were watching a different movie.
Yeah, I thought that was okay. Anything else big? I'm trying to remember. The Joker scenes were really good. I liked most of the Joker scenes, like when he's on the helicopter.
In the nightclub.
In the nightclub.
With that guy, and he's like, Joker, that's your bitch.
And then he like grabs the guy by the shoulders, scares him.
He's like, I like you, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he was just trying too hard, though. Like,
I feel like he was trying, like he tried to kick that craziness up way too much.
Yeah.
For what it needed to be.
I wish.
I feel like he tried to imitate Heath Ledger's Joker, but it came off way too funny because of just some of the lines he was given.
Yeah, I think this Joker since they're representing him as like a thug, a pimp in the ghetto with the tattoos, like, oh, it's very,
hanging out at the club, like he was like
yeah,
when they
it's
went to the club
very,
with what's his face with Ike Barinholtz. That I forget the guy's name, but it's Ike Barinholtz when he was with the guy who was
hmm
gambling, and he's like, I need some more money.
like, I think this Joker should have been more of like a funny, ha ha, I'ma beat you up after I laugh type of guy, which Heath Ledger's Joker was more of the, I'm going to psychologically
Yeah, you don't know,
get
you
you to
didn't
kill
know what that
yourself.
Joker was gonna do. You
Yeah,
didn't know what he was gonna
but
do.
I
That
feel
was the
like
scary
this one
part.
should have been more of, the haha funny, have a good time,
Yeah.
and then like get all
It
this
should have been
thugs
a
do
mix
stuff.
of probably a mix of
Yeah,
the Heath Ledger Joker and the Jack Nicholson Joker. This should have
yeah,
been the perfect mix of those two.
yeah. I definitely appreciate his Goonies. I guess you could say they were better in my opinion than Heath Ledger's Goonies, because he just seemed more fun, especially because that nightclub aspect of
Oh yeah, when
they're
they
gonna
all
wear
showed up in the
masks and panda.
costumes
Yeah,
and
the
shit.
panda. I wish they would have got the copyright for panda. Just had panda, 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 panda.
That's
Got
why.
broads in
That's when I
Atlanta.
started
Just like,
singing that whenever I first saw it.
I know. I was like, let's get the like they had copyright for like every single song in that, like,
Dude, that song, the soundtrack. That's one thing I will tell you. This is
yeah,
the best soundtrack I've ever heard on a movie.
especially for a DC
Ever.
movie. Like, it's
Like they went all out
phenomenal. Like, they got all the copyrights.
They went out there and got every song that you could possibly
Yeah.
think would be great in a movie like this.
They even had Imagine Dragons,
They had
Wiz
Bohemian
Khalifa.
Rhapsody from Queen.
Let me get the name of all the people who made this song. It's called "Sucker for Pain." All right, this is their song. Lil Wayne, Wiz Khalifa, Imagine Dragons, Logic, I think X Ambassadors also is in there. Ty Dollar Sign. It should be all of them.
What
Lil
a
Wayne.
motley crew of individuals.
There is like a huge group of people for this one song, which they didn't even play till the credits after the Batman scene, which I thought was a letdown. Like, that should have been like something that,
That's
when
been like during their big fight scene.
maybe not during the big fight scene, but when I feel like when Deadshot was getting beat up, when he was talking trash to the guard and then getting beat up for talking trash.
Oh yeah, that would have been a good one for that. Like something.
Mm-hmm.
It could have got a much better spot, but because that was a great song.
Yeah. Trying to think anything else big in this movie to talk about. There's not really too much I can think about at the moment when it comes to like the big stuff.
I like the random cameo for Flash.
Yeah,
They showed
yeah,
during,
just
the Boomerang
once.
Scene.
Yeah, I felt like there should have been more of a Killer Croc, how he got
Yeah, there was
arrested.
no story for him. Like they didn't tell anything. They just said, yeah, he just.
Yeah,
he
Slipknot
came
was
in
random.
looking like an animal, so they started treating him like one, so he became one. Like, okay.
Yeah, Slipknot was random. He was definitely the filler guy who was gonna rebel and get killed.
He died literally quick as he was the first guy to die.
Yeah, I loved Katana's song though, or not song, but her I don't know. I said song. Backstory. I was thinking because like each person had their own song playing when they be introduced.
It confused me at first, but then I got more in because it confused me at first.
Yeah, with the sword of
he
her
wasn't even
husband.
trying to be like a villain. Like she's like she was the one that was like all for helping them.
Well, because technically she's not a villain. Technically, she was being hired by Rick Flag.
She was an assassin, basically.
Yeah, Rick Flag is the most generic, random thrown together name I've heard in one of these movies right now.
I was gonna say, is he real?
Let me Google that real quick. I'm not, really sure on that one. Rick Flag is the name of a fictional character appearing in the American comic book published by DC Comics, and he is.
Okay, so yeah, he was a character.
Yeah.
Because that was a very generic name. Like that's just like they just drew out of a hat. Like what are we gonna call it?
Mm-hmm.
Rick, and then they looked around the room. Oh,
a
there's
flag.
Let's call him Rick Flag.
But yep, pretty good movie. My big improvements why I kind of took off points and gave it an 8 was the little romance thing kind of stretched out a little bit. Some of the action scenes stretched out a little too long. Some people definitely deserved more time on screen than others, and aside from the Diablo death that needed to happen, that they I felt like that was kind of a bad one. I think you couldn't kill, like, if you look at this, we were talking about this in the car with my friend, you couldn't kill off Killer Croc, you couldn't kill off Deadshot, you couldn't kill off Harley Quinn or the Joker. Diablo made sense.
Diablo was the next biggest in line, probably.
Yeah.
As it pertained to people you could kill off.
Sadly, I think if I had to pick between Diablo or Captain Boomerang, I would have picked Captain Boomerang. I think he would have been more surprising, but Diablo.
I don't think anyone really loved him. Like I loved him just because I loved the way he acted. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think I think people were more into the story of the fact that this guy was the guy that didn't even want to do all this bad shit.
Yeah, and he was like, he's the one who turned himself in. He accidentally, you know, quote unquote, burned his family, burned all these people.
When they came to him originally, when Amanda Waller came to him originally, he's like, yeah, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. But
I love how he would spell random words with his hands.
yeah, just like bye. Like
It was
I'm gonna miss that. Like I'm legitly gonna miss
It
that.
reminded me of like SpongeBob when he would go.
Dude, I would have made that guy like a sidekick or something. Like have some, you know, like throw him in the freaking Justice League. You know, maybe the tattoos would be thrown off a little bit, but I think it'd be like he'd be good because I think he's just a unique character that I think, you know, really could have got a lot of cash in the end. But Captain Boomerang, I think that's a given. He's gonna make his way into movies, so that would be really cool. Everybody else making their way into movies is really cool.
Well, Captain Boomerang's probably gonna be in the Flash movie, obviously.
Yep. Killer Croc. I wonder how he's gonna play into this.
Killer Croc would be in probably the
Batman.
standalone Batman movie.
Yeah. So that's.
Because he'll be in the thing with that is that could go huge, the standalone Batman movie.
Yes.
For the fact that they're doing it in Arkham, which means every villain is literally every villain is
free game. Free game. Yeah.
Free game.
Like they're gonna have Joker. That's a given. They're gonna have Harley Quinn after
Probably
this.
Penguin. I could see Penguin.
I could see it. I could definitely see it because it's been a few years since we've had a Penguin one, right?
Well, I was gonna say, and he's a character that is a very he's out there and stuff.
Yeah. I don't think we'll get a big Two-Face thing again. I don't think we'll get a big. We won't get as much of the Joker. I'll say that.
Mr. Freeze is a maybe.
Mr. Freeze,
how they pull that off, being trying to be realistic with it, not being cartoony.
Yeah, because that was the problem with the last time they did that. I would love to see if they did something with
maybe Poison Ivy.
So you know how they were doing in Batman versus Superman, the whole Jason Todd story.
Yes.
Maybe we do like a prequel, maybe, and have that story of Jared Leto's Joker killing Jason Todd and, you know, the Red Hood story. Like, that'd be cool. But I think, you know, it's going to be more of a Batman story, so we might not get Robin, which I'm kind of sad because we've never gotten Robin in the you know, new edition of Christian Bale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that's one thing I really wanted to see was how they portrayed a new age Robin, because, you know, back in, you know, what, 90s era, it was much different. At least I believe it was 90s, right? Let me check.
Yeah. Back in the it was 90s, early 2000s. That was a while ago.
Yeah. So, any other final closing things on Suicide Squad?
Like we were saying before, when obviously at this point, if you've already seen it, there's no point in telling you to go see it again. But I mean, yeah, I would honestly go see it again.
I would too.
I'd go see it in 3D. I went and saw it in 2D last night.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good movie in 3D because, especially with all the all the effects and the bright neon lights when they're given a character profile of each person. I thought it was really neat. Especially when
I feel 3D would be all out. They would go all out.
Who was it? Rick Flag. They were golfs 3 times a day, or no, golfs with a 3 handicap, and it's just some of the ridiculous stuff. So, all right, well, I guess we will see you all next time a big movie comes out that we all